It's great to see businesses like the Newtown Project taking full advantage of the World Cup. But there are other people looking at taking advantage of the World Cup too, cyber criminals. The number of fans using the internet to find tickets, accommodation, flights and information updates about the world's most popular sporting events are ever present. Deloitte's Craig Rosewarne is here to chat about cyber scams around the World Cup. Craig, welcome to Business 2010. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
We're looking at cyber scams, online fraud. What is the biggest threat to fans when dealing online, specifically for the World Cup?
So if you look at it, there's going to be literally hundreds of thousands of people wanting to try and book some form of accommodation, entertainment, etc. So whilst there are legitimate sites out there, there's obviously a breeding ground now for cyber criminals to infiltrate these sites and to either to infiltrate these sites or to have their own bogus sites that are going to redirect customers to their sites to either steal their credentials or steal their cash.
If we just look back in history, before Germany 2006 there was a 40% increase in online fraud. Olympics in Beijing 2008 there was 66% increase. Are we going to start seeing this online fraud increase from now, or has it already begun?
I would say it's already begun. The thing about South Africa is there's not a large amount of stats available, but you're definitely going to start seeing people being targeted now, as people have already started booking for events many months in advance. But companies generally keep hush about what is going on, so you don't really get to see if there have been any major incidents or not. I guess we're going to be able to take stake after the event and actually see what the actual extent of the damage was.
We were talking off air and you were saying that that's the major problem, is that there aren't these statistics out there and everyone tries to keep hush about what's going on. So we definitely need an online policing forum or some sort.
Exactly. So interestingly enough, we've had discussions with our police cybercrime unit as well, from both at Deloitte and from the Information Security Group of Africa, a non-profit organization, to look at how we can actually deal with, because if you look at it, the criminals that we're actually dealing with are actually organized crime syndicates, either sort of the Russian or Chinese mafia, or just a bunch of crooks actually working together to look at harvesting, selling. They each have an important part in the actual underground economy. So there's no way that one department on its own can battle this. It needs to be a coordinated event between all the different stakeholders and the community at large as well.
If we look specifically for 2010, the likes of tickets, accommodation, transport, should FIFA be looking at some of these fraudulent activities, or the likes of Match for accommodation, etc.? Do they have specific organizations within their own organizations who look at online fraud? Do you know of any of?
Well, FIFA and Match obviously they have a lot of resources available to protect those organizations that are part of the event. But think now outside of that sort of protected boundary, and not to say that they're 100% safe as well, because no one is safe. If organizations such as the FBI and NASA can be hacked, everyone is wide open to attack. So I'm more concerned about the average bed and breakfast hotel group, potentially, that is not made aware of what the actual threats are. Think about it. These guys are really, really wide open to infiltration.
Before we get into some tips for the online users that I want to get from you, this poses a security threat at some of our stadia as well, because if 50,000 odd tickets are sold fraudulently online, that's 50,000 fans that are going to rock up at a stadium and they don't have tickets.
Exactly. So it goes beyond just fleecing people of their money, etc. I mean, these are real potential threats that can have an impact on a person's safety. Just
lastly, Craig, let's end off on a positive note. What are some of the tips and advice that you can give our viewers when booking their accommodation or their flights or their tickets online? What should they be looking out for so that they don't get scammed ultimately?
Yeah. Very, very good point. And once again, thank you for the awareness, because this is really what is needed in the country. And I think your most safest firewall is the grey matter that sits between your ears. Be paranoid about anything. Don't be tricked into any sort of scams. It's amazing how many people are still, even in the security industry, are actually still tricked into actual scams. So be very paranoid about any emails. Make sure the websites that you're seeing, normally at the bottom you'll see a lock that shows that it is a secure and HTTPS website. Also, we've created a non-profit website called eatcrime.org.za. You can go and have a look there around typically what are the scams, what you can do, And the next stage is to actually assist people and companies to actually report on these scams and tie it in with the whole SAP cybercrime unit as well.
So I need to go and delete that email I've got in my inbox about me winning the UK lottery.
Yes, cancel that plane ticket. It's more than likely a scam.
Craig, thank you very much for joining us on Business 2010.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, up